Okay, let's get started in a comfortable sitting position. And there's so many options for how to sit comfortably. It can be cross-legged. You can extend one leg outward. You can kneel. You can use props or not use props. Most important thing is that you can sit as comfortably as possible. And then closing the eyes to bring your awareness and focus inward. And we'll bring our focus to the breathing, to the area of the abdomen. Feeling the inhalation and exhalation of breath. Allowing breath to slow down. And bringing your attention into the sit bones and into your legs and hips. Noticing the ground beneath you. Making any adjustments to your sitting posture. And if you're able to release any tension in the feet, legs, or hips. Bringing the awareness into the back of the body. The spinal column and all of the back muscles. And elongating the spine, finding that quality of uprightness. Shoulders and arms relaxed. Facial muscles relaxed. And coming back to our breathing. This time feeling breath through the nostrils. And we'll spend another moment here. This time becoming aware of the whole body. And then gently opening the eyes. With the arms at the sides of the body. Inhale, reaching the arms upward, interlocking and stretching the spine and the arms. On the exhale, releasing, slowly releasing the arms back to the sides. Simple stretch for the spine. Inhale, reaching upward. Exhale, lowering the arms. And one more time. Inhale. and exhale. Inhale, right arm reaching up, and exhale, leaning over towards the left side. Inhale, reaching up with the left arm. Exhale, leaning over to the right side. Moving with your own breathing. And one more time. And coming back to center, keeping the fingertips away from the sides of the body and letting the head tip over to the left shoulder. Creating a stretch for the right side of the neck. And allowing your head to roll down through center. And back into a neutral position. Deep breath in and exhale, head tips over to the right side. We feel the stretch through the left side of the neck. And then rolling down through center and up into neutral. And now we're going to twist our head over the right shoulder, or sorry, over the left shoulder. And back through center and over to the other side, over the right shoulder. And back into center. Now bringing our elbows and palms together, shoulder height. Inhale, open wide, pressing your shoulder blades together. And exhale, the elbows, forearms, palms together. Inhale, opening wide. Exhale together. Inhale. One more time. And relax. Let's bring our hands out. We're going to make a fist and spread our fingers out and continue to do that movement of stretching and making a fist with the thumb inside. And then relax. And just notice, you might notice circulation through the arms. Next one, we're going to make a fist with a thumb inside and circle the wrists. And in both directions. And then relax. And then let's shake. Shake our fingers, shake our wrists, get the elbows into the movement, perhaps the shoulders a little bit. Shake, shake, shake. And think of shaking all of the stress, any kind of physical or mental tension, shaking it out of the body. And then rest your palms on your knees. And feel the warmth and circulation. Both hands over our right thigh, making a circle. 3 times in both directions. Switching sides. And in the opposite direction. And then let's extend our legs and tap or press. Press your calf muscles and the back of your thighs against the floor. You can lean back into the hands, or you can have the hands resting on your thighs. We're going to point and flex the feet. So pointing the toes away from you and then pointing the toes towards you. And as you flex, spread the toes wide. So we're also bringing movement into the toe joints. So now coming into the hip area, so you can bend your right knee, foot against the thigh or on top of the thigh, and a gentle up and down movement as we encourage mobility in the right hip joint. And then we're going to place the right foot across on the other side of the left leg, and we're going to hug the right knee close to us. So you're going to wrap your left arm and elbow around, and this provides a little bit of a stretch for the right hip muscle. And then let's switch sides. So now we're bending our left knee. And foot can be against the thigh or on top of the thigh, and that up and down movement, nice and in a rhythm that feels appropriate for you. And then let's place the left foot on the other side of that right leg. You can bring the foot closer in and wrap your right arm around, or press the left knee towards you as much as you're able to see if you can find that stretch in the left hip muscle. So now let's come into kneeling for a deeper toe stretch. And not only for the toes, but also for the sole of the foot, and very helpful for the arches. Hands can be in front. You can be on your fingertips. You can bring your palms together. And the last option is to come into a balance. There's lots of options because we all have different bodies and different abilities, different conditions, different lifestyles, different anatomies. Sometimes even the length of the bones can make an impact in whether we're able to come into a pose or not. So now tap your tops of the feet on the floor. And we'll come into some variations of cat pose. Inhale, looking up, tailbone pointing up, stretching the front of the body. And on the exhale, sinking back to the heels, forearms and elbows relaxed, head towards the floor. Moving with your breathing. Now we're going to come back onto our hands and knees, and we're going to lift our knee to the side. So lifting the right knee to the side, and then bringing it back and lifting our left knee and ankle to the side. And we'll continue to alternate. And then let's come back into child's pose, but this time toes together and knees apart as we sink back to the heels, chest towards the ground and head towards the ground. And rolling up into sitting. So now we're going to come up into a standing forward fold. We're going to push off of our hands, lift our knees off the ground, walk the hands towards the feet, and let the upper body hang forward over the legs. Keep your feet active in the sense that your feet are pressing into the floor. So the muscles in your feet are active. The arches of your feet are active. Now we're going to press the feet into the floor, draw the abdomen into the low back, and slowly roll up into standing. And here we're going to create some tone with the legs, feet, lifting up onto the toes as we reach the arms above the head, and then lowering down. A few times, If you come out of balance, not to worry. Feel the tone through your toes, calf muscles, thighs. One more time. Good. So we haven't done warrior poses in a long time. So today we're going to do some warrior poses. We're going to start with the feet wide apart, and then we're going to turn both of our toes and feet towards the right side. And then we're going to bend the right knee. And then straighten. So we're going to bend, coming into our warrior, noticing the lengthening of your legs. Maybe you'll feel it in the calf muscle or the thigh muscle. And straighten. So you're bending and straightening. And we want to make sure we can see our first two toes when we bend the knee. That ensures good alignment of our knee as we bend. And next time you bend, we'll stay in this position and add the arms. And slow and steady breathing. If you need to come out, you can straighten the leg and come back in. And if not, we'll stay here for a few breaths so that we're really feeling that strength in the legs. And then the arms relax and we straighten that leg. And now we'll turn to the other side. So both of our toes are pointing to the left side, and then we bend the left knee and we're making sure we can see our toes. And we're straightening. We're bending and straightening. As you bend, notice which muscles are pulling and stretching, and which muscles are contracting for strength. And when you're ready, we'll stay in our warrior pose and add the arms. And then you can look over your left fingers. Again, if you need to come out, if you're getting tired, just straighten the leg and come back in. And then we can relax the arms and straighten that left leg. So we're going to walk our feet a little bit closer in and do another variation, so not as wide apart. Again, both of our feet are going to turn to the right side, and then we're going to turn our hips towards the right side and bend the right knee. So this time, instead of facing out to the side, we're facing towards the right. So again, we're going to bend and straighten. Strength and flexibility in the legs. And when you're ready, you can stay here and we'll reach the arms up. And then we can release the arms and straighten the leg. We're coming back to center. Our feet are a little less wide apart. And then we turn both of our feet to the left side. We're going to square our hips towards the left side and bend the left knee and straighten the left leg. Bending and straightening. And when you're ready, you can come into the pose, reaching the arms up. And relax your arms and straighten that left leg. And come back to center and let's walk the feet together and relax the arms. So before our next set, we're going to do a little bit of work for the hips. You can come close to the wall. It makes it a little bit easier, or you can work on doing this and including balance. We're going to step onto our left foot and lift our right knee first to the front and then outward to the side. And then we're going to lift the ankle as much as you're able, even if it's a small movement, that's okay. And then we're going to lift the knee behind us. I'll just turn to the side so you can see. I'm not bending forward, I'm just lifting the knee behind. And then out to the side. The ankle comes below the knee. Knee comes back to center and then down. Again, it's helpful to have something just by you so that it takes a little bit of the balance out and you can focus more on the rotation. Of course, you can always do it with balance. Left knee up, out to the side. And of course, you're moving within whatever range you have without creating pain. So there might be discomfort, but there's a difference between discomfort and pain. So now moving behind you, out to the side, ankle below the knee, knee back to center, and leg down. Good. So now we'll step our feet wide apart. So one leg length apart, nice and wide. Knees are soft, hands on the hips, taking a deep breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to hinge forward. So we're going to reach the whole body forward as far as you're able to hinge. And then you can release your arms around your spine, release the head. And start to tune into your breathing. And keep pressing your feet into the floor. So your feet and legs are active. Now we're going to walk our hands over towards our right foot. We're going to turn both of our feet. We're going to allow the left knee to come down. And then we're going to slide it forward. So we have a 90-degree angle on our front leg and a 90-degree angle on our left leg. And all we're going to do is we're going to tilt the pelvis. And this creates a nice lengthening through the hip flexor. So we're tilting the pelvis and then releasing. What that means is you're dropping the tailbone down, lengthening your low back, and pressing into the front of the left thigh. I hope that makes sense because the movement is very subtle. You're going to press forward as we try to lengthen through the top of the left thigh. Good. And then bring your hands down. Slide your left knee back. And we're going to lift as we bring the feet back to center and walk it back to center. And over to the left side, the right knee comes down, and then we slide it forward. 90 degrees in both legs. And then we tilt our pelvis forward, really creating this stretch at the top of the right thigh, and then release. Tilting the pelvis forward. And release. We'll do that a couple of times. And then the hands down, we're going to slide the slide the right knee back, lift it up, walk it back to center. And then we're going to bring the heels and toes towards one another until the feet are hip width apart. And then slowly roll up into standing. And then coming into a balance. So stepping onto your left foot and holding onto your right knee. You can always use the wall or a chair or something to support you in being balanced. This really is good to strengthen the left leg, left foot, left hip area. And then release. We'll come to the other side. So now we're supporting our weight on the right leg, lifting the left knee. Again, you can use balance. You can use a wall for balance to help you. And then release. So we're going to do all of that whole sequence again, starting with the hip rotation and opening. So again, I'm going to just turn to the side. We're going to start with let's start with our right knee. The knee comes up to the front. It opens to the side. The ankle lifts as much as possible. And then the knee lifts behind us. And then out to the side. Ankle below the knee. Back to the front. And down. Then coming to the left side, left knee up. Opens. Ankle lifts. Then behind us. To the side. Ankle below the knee. Back to center. And down. Good. And then just like we did before, we're going to step our feet wide apart. Knees can be soft, hands on the hips as we tilt and fold forward. Releasing our hands down. Relaxing the head down. Taking a few deep breaths. And then we're going to walk to the right foot. Bring the left knee down. And this time we'll just stay here in a lunge. runner's lunge. And coming back down, lifting the left knee. We're going to walk it all the way to the left side. Bring the right knee down. And coming into our low lunge. And then lifting the right knee, walking it back to center. Bringing the heels and toes together until the feet are hip width apart. And we hang forward for a few breaths. And roll up into standing. And we'll come back into our balance. Stepping onto our left foot, holding onto our right knee. And then the other side. And then release. Good, and before we get close to the floor again, we're gonna reach the arms upward, interlock, palms facing upward, and bend towards the left side, stretching the right side of the body. And back to center and to the right side. And back to center. And arms release. So we'll come to the back of our mats and we're going to roll down. So feet can be hip width apart or a little bit wider. Knees are soft. Head down first. Shoulders next. Feel the upper back round. And the middle back rounds. And the lower back. And then there's a hinging forward. As you come as far forward as you're comfortably able. And then we'll walk the hands forward and drop the knees down and settle into child's pose. So now we'll come onto the hands and knees and we're going to alternate cat and downward dog. So on the inhale, we're going to stretch the spine, stretch the front of the body. And on the exhale, we're going to tuck the toes, lean back and lift the knees. And then you can move at your own pace between these two positions. Warming ourselves up in downward facing dog.
And the next time you come into downward facing dog, we're going to stay here for a few breaths. And then we'll drop the knees down and settle into child's pose. And roll up into sitting. So next we're going to strengthen the arms and shoulders in plank. So come onto your hands and knees to start and press your hands into the floor. And if you did nothing but just this, you're already strengthening. By pressing the hands into the floor, you'll see there's an activation of the arms and in the shoulders and even the chest area. Abdomen draws in, and then one and both legs step back. And then you can keep the knees off the ground. If you'd like to make it a little bit easier, the knees come down and we lower all the way onto the front. And then coming into Sphinx pose with the elbows in front. And to make it easier, you walk the hands a little bit farther forward. And then the elbows wide, head and chest relax down. We want to release in the low back. Allow for blood flow to come into that area. And then when we press back to the heels, we're stretching across the low back. We're going to move through these positions. We start on the hands and knees and we move into a high push-up position. The knees can come down or you can lower onto the front. Then coming into Sphinx pose. Releasing the head and chest down. Pressing back into child's pose. And we'll do it twice more. So starting in plank. Lowering onto the front. Coming into Sphinx pose. Back into child's pose. And last time. This time we're going to stay on the floor. So we'll come into plank. And we'll lower onto the front. This time we're going to reach the elbows wide and chin or forehead down. Then let's bring the elbows wide, chin down, and alternating one foot towards and away from you. And then allow your feet and legs to relax. And let's bring the arms alongside the body with the chin or forehead down. Feet can be together or apart. And as we breathe in, the whole body lifts. And as we breathe out, the whole body releases down. Let's do that twice more. Lifting and lowering with our breath. One more time. Good. So now we're going to roll onto our side. Let's roll onto the left side. With the left arm underneath of the ear. We're going to keep our right hand beside us today. We're going to lift the right knee up to the ceiling. Extend the right leg up and lower down. So you're going to draw the heel towards the buttock, lift your right knee up to the ceiling, extend the leg, and lower down. And you'll just try this a few times. One more time. And then let's roll onto the front and onto the other side. So I'm now lying on my right arm, left hand is in front. I draw the heel towards me, left knee is pointing to the ceiling. I extend the left leg, and then I lower the left leg down. And just continue that movement. Knee up, leg extends, lower down. One more time. And then I'm going to roll onto my back and take a moment to bend the knees and let the spine and back settle. And then I'll bring the knees to the chest and gently roll on my back from one side to the other. coming back to center, holding onto my right knee, and now extending the left leg up to the ceiling and lowering the left leg down until your left heel touches the floor. And then you're going to keep that left leg active as you're pressing your left thigh down, pressing your left leg into the floor as you hold the right knee into the chest. And then release your right foot down, bend both knees, take a moment just to feel your spine and back. Bring both knees to the chest and roll a few times on your back. And then we'll hold on to the left knee and extend the right leg up to the ceiling and lower the right leg down until your heel touches the floor. Keep that right leg active and keep pressing your left knee towards you. And then release your left foot down and let's bend both knees. So knees are bent, walk your heels towards you, feet are hip width apart, and we're going to do bridge pose. Inhale, lift the pelvis as you lift the arms all the way to the floor behind you. And exhale, bring the arms back as you lower the pelvis back down. And we try to coordinate so that the pelvis and arms reach the floor at the same time. Inhale up, lifting the pelvis, arms lift, palms to the floor behind you. Exhale, lowering down. You can continue this movement, or if you feel ready and warmed up, you can come into this as a pose where we lift and we stay in this position for a few breaths. And if you're in the position, then we can lower and release. And take a moment just to feel the body and the floor beneath you. And we're going to end with a really gentle and simple twist. So we'll have the feet and knees together. The left arm reaches so that it comes beside the left ear. Both knees fall towards the right side. If your knees come apart, you can slide a pillow between the knees. And now we look towards the left side. And we'll stay in this position for about a minute, maybe a little bit longer. So we're going to come out of this pose, bringing the left hand back beside the body and pressing your knees together to bring them back to center. And then take a moment just to pause as you allow the body to be in a neutral position. Taking a few slow, deep breaths. And then preparing ourselves for the other side. So now your right arm comes beside the right ear. The knees and ankles are together, and we let the knees come to the left side and look towards the right side. We're going to come out of this pose, allowing the arm to come back to center, pressing the knees together, bringing both knees back to center, and then bringing the knees to the chest and hugging the knees. And then let's make a circular movement with the knees together, circling in one direction. And then the other direction. And then gathering any layers of clothing that you need for your relaxation, which is an integral part of the yoga practice, where the body has an opportunity to integrate into cellular, muscle, brain memory, all that we've done. So come into a comfortable position lying down. Feel the earth beneath you, blue sky above. Allow your body to relax as you feel the rhythm of inhale and exhale.
Becoming aware again of your breath. Becoming aware of your body. And the earth beneath you. And the space all around you. Allowing your head to release from one side to the other. And then waking up your fingers and toes, stretching the limbs and the spine. And rolling onto one side as you come up into a seated pose. And we'll end with the divine light invocation. You can repeat after me. I am created by divine light. I am sustained by divine light. I am protected by divine light. I am surrounded by divine light. I am ever growing into divine light. Thank you so much for joining me this Sunday morning. I've been noticing the classes are getting smaller these days. Hopefully, we'll see more and more of our friends. And I hope that you enjoy this Mother's Day and this Sunday. And that we'll see you again.